Hello, hello. Welcome, and thanks for joining me. Have I got a good one for you tonight? I'm so excited about the meditation tonight. It's called Trusting Yourself. And when I looked at how to set this up, this is what I came up with. There's something that I call your personal constitution. And your personal constitution has to do with your agreement with yourself, your body, your agreement with Supreme Being, and your agreement with yourself as a spirit to execute your spiritual goals in this lifetime. So when these spaces get junked up, it's very hard to find trust. If we clean them out, they're kind of like, to me, the pillars of trust. So even though we're not going to be cleaning out the vibration of trust, we're cleaning out the pillars of trust tonight. So we're going to be working on your agreement with your body, your agreement with Supreme Being, and your agreement to achieve your spiritual goals. So this is going to be a really great meditation, and it might seem like we're just doing a tiny little bit in each section, but believe me, this will be a very powerful meditation tonight. So let's go ahead and get started. You can close your eyes, get comfortable in your chair. Put your feet flat on the ground, hips distance apart. And if you are wearing a grounding cord, which I know you are, go ahead and drop it into the center of the planet. And we're going to create a brand new grounding cord. And how we're going to do that is at the base of the spine, where the first chakra is. You're going to create a very strong line of energy and attach it to the first chakra, and draw that line of energy straight down through the floor, into the dirt, all the way down to the very center of the planet, where you will devise a way to anchor that line of energy in. And this line of energy also doubles as a means for you to release energy. So you can create this line of energy as a waterfall or a tube, some kind of visual that allows you to see that you can release energy down this attachment. All right, now we're going to go ahead and use the grounding cord to release some energies of the day. So go ahead and start to say hello to any stress that you encountered, and let that release down the grounding cord into the center of the planet. And I like to release the energy of all the communications that I've had during the day. So think of all the people that you've talked to, or that you've emailed, or texted, or had communication with on the phone or on Zoom, and start to let all of that energy release down your grounding cord. Then give yourself a break for the next 30 minutes and let yourself release responsibility energy. Let yourself off the hook for a little bit so that you can give to yourself this meditation. Good. Now we're also going to put our female grounding cord on. And our female grounding cord is creating a big tube underneath your uterus and dropping that tube into your main grounding cord. Go ahead and create that. Then, once you've created that uterine grounding, you're going to ground your left ovary into it and your right ovary into that same tube. And then on your backside, you have 2 sciatic nerves, and you're going to attach a grounding cord to each of them and ground them into your uterine grounding. And those sciatic nerves come up your legs and exit around your butt dimple. Good. And now we're going to ground our female creative energy, which gets generated out in front of your abdomen. So you're going to create one more grounding cord, like a great big tube. And this one goes out in front of your abdomen, and it gets grounded separately out in front of your main grounding cord. So you're going to run this tube all the way to the center of the planet. And just start to ground that female creative energy. Ultimately, you want to ground it into about the size of a basketball. And let's go ahead and ground out any problems that people might have put in your female creative energy. And then go ahead and ground out expectations. Other people's expectations of you. And then one last energy to ground out of the creative energy is the energy of demands. Good. Good job. Well, we're going to start with our first part of doing our Trusting Yourself meditation. And the first part that we're going to address is your agreement with your body. So you can go ahead and create a symbol, either a rose or a bubble, like a clear soap bubble, out in front of you on your screen. And you're going to put a grounding cord underneath whatever symbol you use, whether it's a rose or a bubble. I'll be talking in terms of using a rose. And you're going to ground that rose to the center of the planet with the postulate that the energy in this rose represents the energy of your agreement with your body. And when you take a look at this rose, excuse me, ultimately you want to see a really bright, vibrant color in there representing your energy. And if you don't see that right now, what we're going to do is to start to ground any other dark, heavy energies out of this space. So start saying hello to any energies that are, you could say hello to like blacks, browns, even some white, gray, energies that don't belong in there, and just let gravity start pulling those colors out. I would go ahead and look for any judgment that might have gotten into your agreement with your body. And you might also look for any unconscious energy that has gotten into your body communication. So, what we're looking for are energies that might make you not trust your body. And one of the energies that just came up that I was looking at that you can look for in your own symbol is is religious energy and religious pictures. You might want to say hello to that and clear that off and let that go down the grounding cord. And then another energy that gets into our body communication that makes us not trust it is the energy of beings or entities that come into our space. And you might want to say hello to the energy of any entities or beings. And all you have to do is just give them a gold grounding cord and a gold line of energy from the top of their head to a gold sun, and then ask Supreme Being to ground them out of your rose. And what you're looking for in this rose or bubble, if you're using a bubble, is the color of your original agreement with your body. So that's going to have a lot of vitality and vibrance to it. So keep grounding that rose until you start to see some bright colors. I also notice a lot of slave energy from past lives. So you might want to say hello to any slave energy that you have in your body communication space that needs to be cleared out. And I want you to start looking for your original enthusiasm for getting a body this lifetime. Remember, there are not enough bodies to go around for all the beings that want bodies. You actually have to be very capable to get a body. So not every being can have a body. So I want you to look in that rose for your original enthusiasm. Say hello to that color. And if you want, you can take a little of that color, of that enthusiasm, and roll it around in your crown chakra in a clockwise motion. Just paint the top of your head with that color. And then let's go ahead and create a gold sun above your symbol and call your energy back into that gold sun. And then go ahead and fill that rose in, representing your agreement with your body. And then go ahead and blow that rose up. Let's go ahead and create a gold sun above your head. Call back some of your energy that you might have let go of during the week. And fill yourself in with that gold sun. And now we're going to look at your agreement with Supreme Being. Go ahead and create a brand new rose out on your screen and put a brand new grounding cord on it. Ground it to the center of the planet. And as you create the rose, have the postulate that this rose represents the energy of your agreement with Supreme Being. And take a moment and look at the energy of that agreement and be in awe of what you created for yourself with Supreme Being. And then start to say hello to any energy that's gotten in that space or gotten between you and your ability to communicate freely with Supreme Being. And you might want to say hello to your parents. And also say hello to any religious pictures that got between you and Supreme Being. You can look in the rose and see if you have any karma with Supreme Being. Now that would mean that there might be a past life in your past where you were angry at Supreme Being and got a little stuck. So when I say karma, look in the rose to see if you recognize an energy that looks like karma and just ground it out as a color. And one of the vibrations I would like you to look for in this is your original love for Supreme Being. And maybe in this space, you might say hello to any expectations that you've had of Supreme Being and see if you can't ground them out. And then I would also look to see if you have left any of your demands in Supreme Being space. And if you have, go ahead and ground that energy out of the rose. Good. Now look in the rose and see if you can find that original enthusiasm. Say hello to that color. And if you want, you can take that color and paint the top of your head in a clockwise motion with it. And bring that original love and enthusiasm right into the body. Great. All right, go ahead and create a gold sun above your rose for your agreement with Supreme Being. Collect up your energy in that gold sun, and then fill that rose in with the gold. And you can blow up that rose and create a new gold sun above your own head and fill yourself in with a gold sun. All right, we're on to our final space, and that is the space of you in your agreement with yourself as a spirit to execute your spiritual goals this lifetime. So that's really why we take our bodies, is so that we can try to exercise our spiritual goals. And we're going to take a look at this space and make sure that there isn't any energy between you and achieving your goals. So go ahead and create a rose for you and your agreement to pursue your spiritual goals. And ground that rose to the center of the planet. And start clearing the foreign energies that might be affecting your ability to actually achieve your spiritual goals. Say hello to problem energy and ground that out. And I would say hello to competition. There's quite a bit of competition in this space. And then I would also say hello to any destructive kind of energy that might be in there. You might see that as darker colors, blacks, brown, and say hello to any of those energies and release them. One of the things I see in your spiritual goals, Rose, is a fear picture of not enough time to actually achieve your spiritual goals. So you might say hello to that and ground that out. And I want you to look for the color of your original enthusiasm for your spiritual goals. Look for that color in your rose. And say hello to any emotional energy like frustration or anger if you have not achieved your spiritual goals. And say hello to those emotions and ground them out of the rose. And I think it's a great idea to check in with yourself and take a look at this rose that you're looking at and pose the question, what are some of my spiritual goals? Good job. Go ahead and create a gold sun above the rose that you're using for your spiritual goals. Fill that rose in with the gold sun. Blow up the rose. And then go ahead and create a brand new gold sun for yourself above your head. And when that's full, go ahead and bring that right in and fill yourself up. And when you're all filled up, you can open up your eyes and come on out of trance. And may it be with the blessing of divinity that this meditation be complete. Amen. Good job. I hope you enjoyed that. Just going to tell you what's coming up. We have a Seek and You Will Find coming up on Monday. So if you want to join me on Monday, you can text me your questions and I'll answer your questions in the form of a healing for you and everyone on the call. You do have to be on the call though to get the healing. So that's important. And then next Thursday is my women's intuition class, and it's on aging gracefully. And we're going to be clearing some energy out of our aging process. And I'm very excited about that. So that's what's coming up. And I hope that you will join me for both of those next week. got my eyes on you. Enjoy your evening. And thank you very much for joining me tonight and trusting yourself. Have a great evening.